Hello, I'm Alessandro De Sico, and thank you for purchasing my tutorial. This is a photo called The Docks, and we're gonna give a nice warm and effect and a sunset look to all the photo. And okay, so let's start. As you can see, we got here a underexposed photo. And so what we're going to do, we're going to concentrate always on the model's skin and light. So as I said, we want to give it a nice warm look, so we're going to add a bit of yellows in the photos, not too much. And as you can see, we have a strong magenta in the photo, so we're going to take that a little bit off. So just around, not too much around here. Actually, just going to take this little bit off as well. So okay, now we're going to, as you can see, the photo is really has a lot of contrast to it, so we're going to take that out so we can work on the skin and everything better. Okay, and now for the highlights, shadows, whites and black. So we always tend to work on the skin, so we have to read where everything of the shadows, highlights and everything is on the skin. So on the highlights, as you can see, we're not actually touching nothing much, but we're going to add this a little bit just to give it a nice luminosity on the skin. We want to turn up the shadows so we can work on the eyes and the details on the skin better. As you can see, here it is, not too much. For the whites, I don't actually want to touch nothing because I think they look good. Here it is. This is what we actually do. So we're going to set this to 0 how it was. Okay. And for the blacks, I want to remove them a little bit more. So as before, we can work better on the shadows and the highlights. And the details and everything, sorry. Now what we want to do is we want to pop out the photo a little bit more, so we're going to add some clarity to it and to around 15. Okay, looks good. Now we simply want to remove some reds from the skin, so what we're going to do is we're going to go down to the HS cell here, and we want to make the reds look more orangey. So this is what this action does, and we're going to simply make it natural. So I think around 17 is good. Okay, looks really good. And we want to add some details to it, so we're going to add details to around 20. So we have a more sharpened photo. So this is what we started with, and this is what we have now. So okay, as you can see, we can see the details on the skin better, the eyes, you can actually see them more, and so we're ready to go in Photoshop. So right click and edit in Photoshop. Okay, now first thing we want to do is we want to crop the photo a little bit down, so to around here, so she's in the center, good. Okay, and now we can get started working on a model. So okay, first thing we're going to do is we're going to work on the eyes and everything. So you open up the perfect portrait action. Here it is, and perfect eyes, lighter, and we have a black mask, so we're going to select a white brush set to 100. Always make sure that we use a soft brush, and we're going to paint inside our iris. So simply paint here and paint here. I went a little bit too much, so we're going to make a black brush and just paint back where we made the overpainting. Okay, as you can see, she has really dark eyes, so it's not going to make that much of a difference, but like this is a bit too much, so we're going to move it to around 70%. Okay, that's good. Now we don't want to touch the contrast because, as I said, she has dark eyes, so it's not that much of a use. For the white area, she doesn't have red eyes, so it's good. We're not going to use this either because, as I said, it's dark, but we want to sharpen the eyes. So we have a black mask. I'm going to select a white brush and simply paint in. Okay. Now I always set it to 100 because we want to give it the maximum look of what the action does. So, but it's too much, so let's go all the way down and now simply move it up until you find a good detail that we want. Now the important thing is never to overdo nothing, never to exaggerate. So okay, I think this is good. Okay, and now we can go on the hair. So we're going to flatten the image and press hair enhancer. You have always a black brush here, a black mask here. So we're going to select a white brush and you can start painting on her hair. Okay. As you can see, it's really strong, so we want to take the opacity down. And I think around 47 or 50 is good. Okay, so now we can start working on the skin. Once we've done that, we can go down to perfect skin, flatten the image, and frequency separation. We decide the amount that we have here by looking at the photo, and we need to find the amount that's in between a non-blurred and a blurred photo. So this is not good. As you can see, we can still see some of the lines here, some of the details, so we need to add a little bit more. So I think 8 was actually the good one, because you can see, we can still see the lines, but we don't see the details no more. So we can see the lines of her skin, of her eyes. So this is a good amount, so we choose 8. So we're going to go to the high level. We're going to go to clone stamp tool, set your opacity up to 100. And now what we're going to do is we're going to clean the skin. But first of all, you want to select the area of the skin that is perfectly clean. So we're going to press Alt and left click on the mouse. So we have actually registered the skin that we chose. And now we can simply click on where we want it to clean. Now this model has clean skin. It's important that we always clean the skin because the camera sees what we actually don't see with the naked eye. So that's why we see a lot of imperfection on the skin, and in real life we actually don't, because the camera gets what the eyes doesn't see. We clean up all the skin like this. Oh, I just overdid it here. I'm going to undo. Okay. We can work on the legs as well. Okay, once that we've cleaned the skin, we want to apply the frequency separation, so we press the low layer, select a lasso tool, select a piece of skin that you desire, and be careful always not to go too close to the edges or to the edges of a nose, the mouth, because it will get that inside too. So we select the lasso tool and make sure the feather is at 8 pixels, and once that this is selected and you have this on a low layer, we go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and we enter the same amount that we entered before. So we entered 8 and we're going to put in 8. Now we can apply the frequency separation by selecting the areas that we like, and we're going to press Ctrl Alt F, sorry, for the new Photoshops, and for the older versions you can press Ctrl F, and on the Mac is just Command F or Command Alt F, and you can press it more than once as well. Okay, this is what we had before, this is what we have now. So it looks good, and now we can pass on to the neck and just give it once. Okay, and we can go on her legs too. Okay. Oops, did it wrong. Okay, and let's see. Okay, yes, it looks good, so we're ready to continue. Once we've done this, we can flatten the image down and start to dodge and burn. So we press the dodge layer, a white brush, and we set this to 20. And now when we're doing this, it's important that you never leave the mouse or the pen from the board. So when you start painting, don't actually let go. Actually, this is a bit too much. Let me make it smaller. Okay, and we can start painting from the nose up to a forehead, and we paint everywhere. Okay, we're gonna paint here. We're gonna paint cheekbones. We want to paint under here, and with 10% we want to paint this. Okay, now we're going to go and paint a little bit of legs. So make this bigger, and we simply want to sign here and here. Okay, so what we've done now is this. Okay, now we want to play around with the burn, and with the burn we want to paint always at 20%, make this smaller, and first of all we're going to paint around here and here. We're going to paint underneath her nose, a little bit in between here, here like this, and here like this. Okay, a little bit underneath here. We want to paint underneath the neck a little bit. And now we want to paint on the legs, on the side of the legs. So we're going to go 1, this, 2, and 3. But as you can see, I painted outside here as well, but it doesn't matter because it's we need a big brush to do that. Okay, but now that we've done this, we need to put the layer of the burn a little bit down. Okay, looks good, and the dodge too. Okay, now what we have to do to remove all of this stuff, the strong pieces, we want to create a layer mask here, and we want to select a black brush, and where you think is actually too strong, you can actually start painting. Sorry, put this at 50. Okay, now painting to take a lower effect, and at 100 here you can actually remove where we painted it outside the model. Okay, this one here, around here. Okay, it looks good. Okay, now once that we've done this, we want to work the lips. So we're going to go to perfect lips, flatten the image, and lips enhancer, and at 100% of a white brush we paint in the lips. Just like this. Okay, that's too much, so we want to take this down. Okay, looks good. We can now dodge and burn the lips as well. So dodge, white brush, 20%, and we want to paint right in the middle here and on top here, like this. And with a burn, you want to paint down here, in the middle here, and around here. Okay, so once that we've done this, this is a dodge and burning. Okay, we want to put the opacity a little bit down. Okay, it looks good. Okay, now we can pass on the background. So what we're going to do is we're going to flatten the image first, and I want to add a little bit of a sky here, so I want to make all of this brown as well. So we're going to go to Info Brown Action, Info Brown here, press it, and now with the white brush set to 100%, we start painting where we want the brown effect to look. Okay. Actually paint some of this to okay, it looks good. Okay, I went on her hair a little bit by mistake, so I'm going to remove that by switching it to a black brush and painting it where the effect was applied before. Okay, looks good. Okay, perfect. Okay, now that we've done, we can now add the sky overlay behind. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this. Okay, I'm going to add the sky overlay that I like. So overlays, sky overlays, and I think the best one for this photo might actually be this one. So we can add this one, okay? And put it here. Now we can actually make this bigger to around there. That's it, perfect. And we want to put it down to multiply. And what we're going to do now is we're going to actually paint this off. So we're going to select a white, we're going to create a mask here, and we're going to simply paint this out a little bit. So we just simply want to do like this a little bit. Okay. Lay down the opacity a little bit more. Okay. Now we can add some blur to our sky. Just around there. Looks good. Okay, we can actually finish the touches here that we started before. So 100. Remove all of the model. Set this at 20% and start removing it a bit from here. Okay, and now you can actually put all of the layer a little bit down to opacity. Slightly less. I think 92 is good. So, okay. Once we've done this, now we can make the photo pop out a little bit more. So we go to Nik Collection, Color Effects 4. Okay, we're going to go down to Pro Contrast and move the dynamic contrast until she pops out. So I think around 43 is good. Okay, we press OK. Okay, it looks good. And now we can start working on the toning, and actually think this is a bit too strong, so I'm going to move this down a little bit more to around 57. Yeah, that's it. Okay, I'm going to flatten the image. Now I can start working on the tones and everything. So we're going to go and add the color tone into the photo. Okay, I really like this one, so I'm going to maintain this one, and I'm going to put it all the way down and then start coming up until I find a good point. So I think this is good, this one. Okay, and I'm going to leave it like this. I'm going to flatten the image. Now we have a little bit of the model is a little bit dark, so I want to lighten her up a little bit. So I'm going to go to adjustments and go to brightness, contrast, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to lighten her up a little bit more. So around it, 18, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to click the mask and I'm going to invert it so that we see the original photo again. And now with a white brush, I set it to 80, You can start painting on her. Okay. Okay, if it's too much, you can turn it down a little bit more. Okay, this is good. Okay, and once that we've done this, we can add a little bit of details to the model. So we're going to go to Perfect Portrait again and add some details to everything. So perfect detail here. We have a black mask, set it to 100 and detail everything. Actually hasn't painted nothing, don't know why. So, okay, here it is. Now it's painting it. Okay, good. Okay, now that we have the details pop out, we want to turn them all the way down and get the perfect details that we want. So I think around 35 is good. It's not too much and it's not too low. So okay, now we have this. We can pop out the photo a little bit more with the boost and turn the opacity down and always come up a little bit more. Okay, it looks good. We'll flatten the image, and now what I want to do is I want to add some grain to the photo. So I'm going to go to Filter, Make Collection, Color Effects, Pro 4. And I'm going to go to Film Grain. Okay. Then it's grain per pixel. We're going to turn that down so the grain looks actually smaller. I'm going to turn this up a little bit and remove some of the contrast from the photo. Here it is. You can press OK. Okay, and now we want to remove the grain from the model. So we create a layer mask here. We get a brush and we get a black brush and we simply remove all the grain from the model. Okay. Okay, good. Okay, now once that we've done this, we just want to add a little bit of sunlight here. So we go to Overlays and Light Pack Overlay here, and we want to add a sun to it. So I'm going to get the 6, add it around here, go to Screen, bigger, and do something like this. Okay, now we want to remove it a little bit from the model's face, so we're going to create a layer mask, and with a black brush set to 40%, we can start painting on the model. And we can paint this out too. And okay. It looks good, and I think with this we have finished the photo. We can flatten the image, so this is what we have now, and this is what we started with. So 1 and 2, 1, 2. Okay, thank you for purchasing my tutorial, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.